Worte und werde dich platt zu gerade befriedet. Die Karte ist du in der Haji. I shit said again with the shit when it's cold. I wake up soothing the get is the cat is a freak. I take it if it's big with the sky. I said it with the chest, but it will we don't see. I see I don't get your head what is what thing is.
Sorry about the wait, folks, and happy Trans Day of Visibility. I am the Ephemeral One, and welcome back to something a little different. And in honor of Trans Day of Visibility, we'll be doing something different that I keep pushing off from this channel. And that is working on my writing. In all truth, that's one of the things I keep saying I want to work on. And I never get around to it. Or more precisely, I keep holding back and I keep pushing it off for one excuse or another. So, yeah. So I hope you'll enjoy as we go through and work on, well, my current writing project. The Dreams of Eternity. Title's just something I threw together in half a second while I was working on it, because it's more of a personal project and one I'm hoping I will be sharing the completed parts after I do some editing and get some feedback on. I will be posting to my Patreon, which I will now, moving forward, I will be more active on. I know, I haven't touched it in a year. Give me time, folks. The idea of marketing my writing and honestly trying to truly be a writer is the difference between doing what you enjoy and then doing what you need to are two different things. So, forgive me. I'm amateurish at best. I always will be, probably, but such is the way of things. But there was also something else I wanted to do. What was it? There was a option I saw the other day while I was working on this I wanted to play around with before we get into the actual writing. Because there was what they call it, compare documents. Okay. So this brought up an idea for me, because this seems like it would be extremely useful for writers, and I wanted to bring this up and see what other people thought of this, because the idea I had was we make a new document, and then I can make a blank one, and then I can start adding notations. So let's call this note sheet. Because we all have this thing where one of the things we love is having our notes available as we go, right? So I'm just seeing, is this a thing? So if I do compare documents in my drive to DOE note sheet, there it is. Open up. Okay, no, okay, that's not what it is. Okay. I was kind of hoping it would allow me to see both, and then I could just have my notes on one page, and admittedly, I probably can do that. So, because I do have several notes I wanted to, let's see. No, let's see. Because the other way I could do this... Yeah, I was just trying to see if there's a way to get two documents on the same side by side on the same screen. I mean, I could just shrink down the pages, but I was just saying if there's a way in Google Documents to be able to do it yourself. So like citations. Okay. I love that voice typing is a thing, but I doubt it would work with any kind of... Oh well. So compare documents is mostly just a, okay, how much did they plagiarize question, more so than anything. Okay. Well, okay. We sit at, oh, and for those curious, we are on chapter 3. Compare, tool, word count. Currently sitting at 7,142 words, and we're on chapter 3. Effectively, as far as the writing goes, we have our main protagonist known as Invi, I-N-V-I. They are a unhappy elf who lives on a desert planet who unfortunately was born without the chemical to produce basically the elven equivalent of melanin. So they have to be extremely careful of sunlight, but they work in a mine all day. But they're not very that physically, strong, so mostly they just end up running, fixing the drill when it gets busted, running analysis, none of the heavy lifting parts, thus earning them the nickname Princess. They get bothered by it, and basically have the usual escapism of trying to live essentially through video games and just hiding themselves away. Their grandmother often berates them about, going out and finding a wife. The usual kind of stuff that just makes life unnecessarily unbearable. From there, then we have... while delivering the water that his company had dug up from the underground, they were... his dad contacts Invi and tells him to meet this spaceship captain who's willing to pay an exorbitant price for the water. And Invi goes, meets the captain. The captain's incredibly this tall, charming Dracel, which is a hybrid species of dragon and other species. And then effectively, Envy gets pulled along to while the water's being pumped into the ship. Envy goes basically on a date with the captain and has the social ineptness and has the social not ineptness but the social anxiety to have a bit of a breakdown the entire time until their date is interrupted by what seem to be some military folks who demand access to the captain's ship. The captain has just used some ability. He told Envy to close his eyes, and all of a sudden, all the military guys who were actually apparently band pirates posing as military officials vanished in a second, and Envy is seeing that this person is actually potentially stronger than they thought. So he's agreed to a deal where the captain has offered to take him off the planet and to the legendary city Akio, the head of the Fey Empire, and has basically been pulled in, has basically agreed. Yeah. So, enough stalling. Let's just get to the actual meat of the stream, which is, unfortunately, me writing. So, as far as our actual main cast here, let's see. I put down my notations over here. So, now this story in particular was born of something I was trying to understand, which is imagining a future where I am happy. And the reason the reason I wanted to now, could I put comments? No. Okay, not how I want it. Okay. Tasks. Document tabs. Okay, we'll just do main story. Rather than a separate file, we'll just add. So we'll go world notes. So before we get into the story, I want to write down these notes so I have them. Time descriptions. So, one day is a spin. Oop. Yeah, one day is a spin. 1 week is a cycle. One month is a gyre. 1 year equals a 1 revolution. 10 years is a sojourn. 100 years equals a cirque. Not disallay, just cirque. And 1,000 years equals a generation. Just seemed like something I wanted to make note of for the story is have a different description of use of time. Plus, I like the idea of momentum, especially with what the kind of world I'm building. So, everything's about movement, cyclical, life going on. I like that. So I wanted that even to down to little detail notes. So yeah. Common slang. I'll add to this as I go, but I wanted to have the black, which is just space. Terminals is a phone or tablet. Credits is the official currency of the clans. Typically used between quarters. And then there and back is 20 years. All right. Right. And the other major thing was the ship types. I just want these notes here so I can reference back to them quickly, especially for editing purposes. This actually is quite nice so I know who I'm doing and what. Hang on, folks. Of course. Of course. Of course I have to do this. Alright. Unfortunately, someone called into work. Somewhat. It'll be somewhat based on. Okay, folks. A trans person's day is never done, and this is how I always get stuck. Someone called into work, so now I gotta go in, because otherwise they have no cashiers. So, I want to beg all your forgiveness. So tonight at about let's give me a little time to get home. Tonight at 7 p.m. we will pick this back up, and I will continue writing, and I will put notes. I will talk about the world, and we will go forward from there. I apologize about this. Thank you all. And happy Trans Day of Visibility. I really hope that for all of us who are struggling to feel comfortable in our own skin and have to learn how to live again, basically, as an entirely different person who might honestly be happier in this world. Thank you all for your bravery, and thank you all for sharing with this. I apologize about the delay. Life is life, and, well, a trans woman always needs more money. You know that as well as I do. So, thank you all, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you tonight. Sorry about this, folks. Bye for now, folks. Bye for now.